GoonerFam, what's good? We're back with another rival reviews. I have a good friend of mine, Michael here, huge City fan. He's going to give us a breakdown of City this season and their performance. And yeah, tell us a bit about what he expects next season. And yeah, just have a chat as we do as per normal. So yeah, Michael, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming on, much appreciated. So we can start off by just telling us a bit about yourself and like why you support City, like what made you support City.
Oh, for sure, Keishan, man. First of all, I appreciate you having me on the GoonerCast. I'm loving your channel, and I honestly really appreciate it. But in terms of City, well, the reason I supported City is back in the day, I actually used to come from the UK, if you think about it. I was born and raised, but moved when I was about 10 years old, so it technically doesn't really count. But Dad is a Leicester fan. Dad's dad is a Manchester City fan. So I've never really liked United, and we've never really had the opportunity to watch Premier League as we're growing up here in South Africa. We always relied on, those ETV games. We're watching the Champions League and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I never really had a liking to United. So I decided to choose their biggest rivals, did a little bit of research. Manchester City it was. But at that time, I was about 11, 12 years old. And those were probably the worst times of my life because we were terrible. Third division days.
What we going through now, I suppose. But yeah, man, I suppose it's a good choice in your part. I can't really say it from my side, but yeah. And obviously since you said for so long, you've seen them grow and obviously become the Manchester City of today, which is a whole different breed from what you saw, growing up. So yeah, let's get into it to talk about your team. So look, I'm gonna go into a bit of not really nice stuff. So yeah, bear with me. But like last season and the season before, you guys were phenomenal. To be fair, like I haven't seen that kind of formidableness in a while, and it was refreshing to see as angry as I was. But this season you guys finished second. You had a bit of a unlucky run in the semis of the Champions League and also semis of the FA Cup. So I think the quarters of the Champions League, sorry. And then yeah, like it wasn't like the best year overall for you. But like, how did you feel in general? What do you think kind of caused this maybe drop in? I wouldn't say quality. I say it's still there, but maybe for you guys not to achieve at the level that you were at the last few seasons, and obviously taking COVID into play.
Well, to begin, I do think COVID does have a play in a small sense, but these are all professionals who should be able to step it up whenever required. So there's no real excuses because before COVID-19 we had our problems from the get-go. Like for example, at Norwich away, we had absolutely dreadful mistakes at the back that led to a 3-2 loss at Norwich, which for me personally destroyed our confidence going into the season, knowing that we had to go up against that formidable Liverpool side who were already pushing us the season before. So just at that stage there, and then just to finish it off, we had Laporte, probably our only world-class centre-back we have, or defender in general we have, got injured. And then we were really in a little bit of a rabbit hole there. So I think from that moment there, we started descending down and whatnot. But in terms of the Champions League and Pep Guardiola's tactics, I'm extremely still fuming about that. The way we went up against Lyon, what we did is we set up to defend our weaknesses instead of going out and playing to our strengths. And I think that's how we lost the game. And it was really just against the City philosophy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I suppose it was under pressure. But there's also another factor I didn't really raise with you, but I'll bring it up now. You guys are also plagued with controversy, regarding the court cases and FIFA fair play. Do you think like that somewhat contributed to like the mindset of the players and obviously the coach? Because it does bring that stigma as much as look, at the end of the day, whatever happened. I can be that type of guy that's gonna be like, look, you guys were like this or like that. But it happened to you guys, and it's something you guys experienced. And as a fan, and as a huge fan, you might have seen a difference. You think that kind of played a role, or do you think your club just handled it well and it alleviated that pressure off the coach and the staff and players? Or how did you feel, or what did you get the sense around that time? It wasn't really nice, you know.
Well, in terms of the Cass case, I was in a dilemma mentally. Like, I didn't really do the research enough to understand what was fully going on, because it was such a technical case about financial fair play and all sorts of situations with the Etihad deal, and there was a lot of media that was against Manchester City that was literally saying we are guilty regardless, even if the Cass case comes back. We are not guilty. But in terms of it having any sort of effect on a player, I don't think it should. I think these are professional footballers who need to have their priorities straight and focus on the football and on the politics. And I don't think it should play a part, but it could have. But it's really down to Pep Guardiola, and it's down to the players themselves to get their minds right and just get on with it on the pitch. And I didn't see it this year, but I don't know if it's got to do with the Cass case and the COVID-19 case, but I got to give credit where it's due. Liverpool were just far better than any other team this season. And I don't want to say City weren't good enough. I think we could have been better, but even if we were at our best, I still think Liverpool would have won the league. They were just one step above everybody else.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's a valid point. And maybe you just needed a break, you know. You can't be winning it all the time.
I think so.
Yeah, you're just like, hey, cool down period. But it like that
tired
move
of winning, you know. You can have some,
100, and you just beat Liverpool. Now you're like, you know what, Liverpool, just take it. Yeah, but now you also would, in doing that, becoming their biggest rival at the top of the table. Liverpool now is one trophy away from equaling Manchester United's record. So, you know, it's a really open season right now. A lot of things can happen going into next season. But like, as you said, Pep Guardiola, it was all up to him. So that's like goes into my next question. Like, were you happy? Look, Pep's had phenomenal time at City. You can't take away what he's done. But we're looking at this season. Well, how did you feel about him over the season? Do you obviously, I know you're disappointed about the result, but where do you think he kind of lacked in the areas that he obviously succeeded in the previous years?
Well, first of all, it was not replacing Vincent Kompany, that leader we needed in our team. But I think Kevin De Bruyne kind of took over that role, but he doesn't have that character of a Vincent Kompany, if you know what I'm saying. But it's just in the transfer market, we didn't like get the players we needed. We needed to attack the defense. We needed our defense to be sorted out before we go and sign all these other players. So I'm just hoping that he can correct it this season. But no, I think that's where we went wrong last
year. Yeah, you're saying so that you think it was not strengthening in the areas that you actually needed to strengthen in, you know?
It had to be defense, nothing else, and we would have been okay.
But you are kind of right, because a lot of your games were cost by silly mistakes from the back, you know, but it becomes more than that when it's costing you 3 points, 6 points, 9 points.
Look, yes, I can deal with a mistake here and there, but like you said, once it's costing you 3 points when a title race is going almost to 100 points, 3 points is pretty much losing the league. So those mistakes are huge mistakes. They just cannot happen, you know.
Yeah, it's fine lines in the game we're playing at this era of football. You can't just think you can recover after losing a challenge and stuff like that. So it becomes
one mistake. That's why they get paid the big bucks, man. You're not allowed to make a mistake.
It was like, we'll touch on it earlier. It was like the game against you guys in the semifinals. We didn't do anything spectacular for the first goal. It was literally just a chance, and we tried to take it. You know, it went into something. So it's the same
football, though. Build up was top class for them. That Aubameyang goal was top class.
It's like, it's not something you can technically plan for. You know what I mean? Like same with the mistake. Like, you know, There were a few, like we called Liverpool, like that on a mistake, and it can be costly. And we've had our fair share in the game after COVID when we played you guys and David Luiz. You know, his mistakes there, become
Yes,
very,
yes, yes.
So it's very fine line. So moving on to the next question, man. Like this, maybe hopefully you have better to say. But what was the biggest positive and then also the negative in the season you had? Okay, good. Kevin De
Okay, well,
Bruyne doesn't count because, like,
okay, Kevin De Bruyne doesn't count. So first of all, the biggest negative for me was just the amount of like opportunities for clear-cut opportunities that we missed. Gabriel Jesus, players of even higher stature, David Silva, just too many misses, open goal misses. Sterling, that Leon it just doesn't get out of my head. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? I think I don't know. There's too many problems this season that I can't even pick out one. And I gotta point to Pep Guardiola. He's not
yeah,
he's he's doing it a little bit wrong. He's starting to worry about our weaknesses instead of having that fire he did as soon as he arrived with that
from
arrogance and I'm here to change the league and show you what I'm all about because you all doubt me. Now he's proved that and now he's lacking. He's
yeah,
lacking with ideas. So he needs to step it up a little bit.
yeah. I think
But
it's the way he's played. People have not found him out. Now we got used to his style, and he kind of made all
I
of us
agree.
step up and do the high press. Now you guys are getting high pressed when you guys were high pressing everybody else 3 seasons ago. You know what I mean? Not saying that nobody was doing it, but it was a different. You brought a different energy to the pitch. So I think now it's matched.
He changed the game. He upped the
You know?
tempo of the Premier League in a
But
sense.
to be
You know what I'm
fair,
saying?
like, okay, you get knocked out of the cups, you still finish second on a shitty season, as you said. You know what I mean? With your main centre back not there, your previous brilliant centre back leaving. You know what I mean? So is it really that bad of a season? You know what I mean? Considering the transformation, you know what I mean? So I
Well,
know you think
considering the
it's
standards and the
when you
expectations that are set, then
exactly.
it's very bad season. We
Yeah,
won
I
a
suppose
cup
when you're
before,
drinking
one
fine
cup,
wine and get juice,
Carabao.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It becomes a different taste. Okay, no, 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 definitely. So, what about the positive? You have to have a positive, man.
Well,
Like,
for me, the positive is personally right now my new favorite player in Manchester City is Phil Foden.
I knew
I
you were going.
love the amount of minutes he got,
And he's a
and
naughty
I'm
boy,
just
that one. He's naughty, man.
he is after the terrible things that happened in Iceland. Naughty boy, but boys will be boys, you know.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
gonna hate on him forever, but the
He's a
media are
talent.
gonna be harsh. The media are gonna be harsh, which he deserves. You can't expect anything less. But regarding all of that, uh, Phil Foden is a pure talent, and he's a big, huge Manchester City fan, and it's just exactly what the club needs.
Okay.
Something to come out from the academy that
I'm
can actually
homegrown.
be straight into the first team, homegrown, and actually give us a pure identity like the Arsenals, the Liverpools, the
Yeah.
Manchester Uniteds, the Chelseas. Even technically, they kind of like us, you know, but a little bit more advanced. It's
But
all
also
error
remember,
based.
it adds to, like, that kid got called up to England. It adds to England as much as if we were in England, as much as we would hate each other, but our academy kids are getting called up to the first team, the main team, and that's an achievement on its own because, the youth that's coming through, like if you look at it, you got Trent, you got Foden, you got Greenwood, you got Saka in the mix there that could play if he wants to.
Grealish, Madison,
Exactly.
Rice,
Kane, Maitland-Niles, you got
Kane, even
Maguire,
Young,
so but even
Chilwell.
yeah, but like even you go lower, like the youth, like under 23, it's still quality. So yeah, it's always a positive sign, and I like that. I like that you said it's full Foden because he might, it's always nice to see your academy kids come through, and we had the same kind of feeling this year with Saka and Willock and
Oh,
all of these.
he's top class, man. He's top class. I love that
Yeah,
kid.
like
Saka
we,
is
we, we were going like before COVID and
fire.
before February left. we were going through a tough time, like as fans, even to watch everything was hard. But like this kid
Oh, he
just
gave you that
he brightened
uplifting
up your
night,
day,
man.
you know what I mean? So I
Oh
really can
shit.
relate to that. So all right, I got like two more questions. One you're not gonna like, but you're gonna have to answer. But so next season
Fire
starting
away.
in 3 days time, I'm glad we got this season review in. So what do you guys need now? Okay, you made a few signings. You can list your signings you guys made, and then talk about. Look, as you said when we were chatting just before the call, it's not just about signings, and now you realize that even though you guys bought well in the previous years, but it's about the combination. It's about holistically everything. So what do you guys need, man? To obviously you're never gonna replicate the deck, the 100 and maybe even the 90, 97, 98 points last season because
Highly
you're under
unlikely.
pressure. But now the game's changed. How yeah. So tell me what your signings and
Everyone around us is improving.
what do you guys need to
Okay,
like,
well,
win or stay where you are or get to a point where you'll be happier next season, even if you don't win the Premier League. But we'll go with
first of all,
the Premier League.
I'm extremely happy with the Sane replacement. That Ferran Torres kid from
Yeah.
Spain, he looks a talent. He's only 20 years old, and he looks pretty like Sane. When we signed him, he was 19. He looked pretty much like a talent at Schalke, looking world class. This kid looks even better, and he's just like got this pace about him. And then you got Ake, who I just think needs a big club just to prove how good he actually is. He's very versatile. He can play right centre back, left centre back, even left back, even holding midfielder. He's a very class little player. But I genuinely think we still need to uh, sign a defender. I'm hoping we get Koulibaly, but what I've been reading, it's not looking promising. Napoli are really reluctant to sell because we're not going to offer what they want. So I hear we're looking at Diego Carlos from Sevilla, who's a very good
Yeah,
like
yeah. He's a good defender.
passing defender, but he got exposed recently, so I have my doubts. But it's Pep
Yeah.
Guardiola. He knows what he's doing.
Mm. Well, so
I'm
only
just
two
hoping.
signings.
That's all I want is. Okay, well, there's
No,
also Husamawa
yeah.
from Lyon, who we've been heavily linked with, who
So
I
I
would really like. But that would really affect Foden's playtime, and I'll rather Foden starts as basically a David Silva replacement. I think he's ready. He needs to play, and he will become an England great. I think he's that good. But other than that, it's Awa, Koulibaly, and who's the other one I said? No, that's it. I think those just two signings.
and
Those
yeah, and,
two
then
signings.
and what do you guys need? Um, what do you guys need to do next season, man? Like to get the title back or
Well,
win Champions League?
to Well, Champions League, I don't even want to think about right now because every time we get to a good stage, Pep Guardiola pulls something out of his ass that he's done constantly since we've had him. So, but Premier League, what we got to worry about now is not just Liverpool. It's pretty much United. Chelsea are looking stronger than ever. They right up there now. They immediately after the 220 million spent or whatever it is,
Now you
are
know how everybody else.
title contenders. No, I'm okay with it because we do it too. I can't be a hypocrite.
Yeah,
Even you
yeah.
guys are signing really well. You guys are signing top class young talents like Saliba. I'm a big fan of Saliba at your centre back,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and even even Everton might even fight for a top six fucking place this season because it's a crazy midfield. Doucouré, James Rodriguez, Allen, quite a midfield
Yeah.
there. There's a
Ancelotti
lot
got
of teams that have really improved. So I don't know what to expect next season. It's going to be strange. I wouldn't be surprised if we finish fourth. I wouldn't because we need
Nah, we'll see.
to
We'll
get
see.
those signings. But I'm worried. I'm worried this season because everybody's looking stronger. Everybody's looking stronger. and I'm not going to be biased and say, oh, we're the best, we're that, we're this. But I can guarantee you now, Liverpool will not perform like they did last season. They haven't made any signings of any sort of significance.
Yeah,
So I
you
think
know,
they will be the top.
yeah, we'll have to see because I don't know, maybe Klopp has a plan, same like your manager. We'll see.
Possibly.
That guy just runs them, man. He got his plan, and he just needs these guys to execute. So now it becomes, as you said, now you have Klopp's plan, Pep's plan. Now another four other managers coming in with good teams. So I think it'll be a lot harder the top six to just walk away with 2 wins. So we'll have to see.
Definitely.
We really have to see.
Definitely.
So yeah,
That'll be
before we
great.
move on to a little like player ratings kind of thing, I want to ask you something in terms of a Man City and Arsenal perspective. We won't talk about any games that we played, but look, Arteta,
You want
man,
to talk about Arteta? Yes, I know you do. I know
Arteta.
you do.
But it's like a talking point that I'm never going to have a City person on to discuss it with.
But trained
You,
by the best, man. You must be
yeah,
grateful.
so
Look at him. He already masterminded that win against Pep Guardiola. I think Arteta's a little
you're pretty
genius
much
himself.
answering me here, but like let's just break it down a bit and talk about what impact he had on your club and with Pep and what you liked about him and what you enjoying seeing him at Arsenal. Because at the end of the day, if you had to look at it at Foden, if Foden had to go to Barcelona, would you be angry? Would you really be that
I would
angry?
be furious.
Okay, I
I would
suppose,
be
but I
furious.
mean, like, you want the kid to grow, you want him to expand. So I suppose my analogy was wrong there, but yeah, you want to see him, your prime grow into like this quality player, win whatever with this team, or you want to see him go to England. So for me, was it that kind of feeling with Arteta? So yeah, maybe give us a small breakdown on your Arteta vibe there.
Well, for me, Arteta, as soon as he arrived, I had my skeptics. Well, I was a little bit skeptic because I was like, he just finished the game and now he wants to obviously just be an assistant coach, but it was for Pep Guardiola, so it was a big deal. But
Mm-hmm.
for me, what I really enjoyed watching on the sidelines when we scored goals and the cameras went on Pep and Arteta is how he would only go to Arteta and they wouldn't necessarily celebrate. They would like talk about tactics, and he was always so like vigilant and just listening to Pep and just willing to learn. And I think Arteta's really taken a lot. He's just had mad respect for Pep Guardiola, and he's taken everything from Pep, and he's probably going to put his little twist in it, and maybe even create a whole new philosophy for himself. And I think that was probably he was a big factor in our 100-point season because there were times where I think Pep was a little bit not sure what to do, and maybe Arteta said one, two things, changed the game, especially that Southampton game when Sterling scored that last-minute winner. I had a feeling Arteta had something to do with that because Pep ran straight to him and gave him these kisses and hugs. So the man has some skills. The man has some skills. He has to.
and, and
Even
and
the
what
board at
you've seen
Arsenal.
and what you've seen at Arsenal from him.
So far, first of all, he needs a lot of time. So I can't really judge immediately because this isn't a team that is going to perform. Because you see, what happens is everyone wants to compare the Arsenals and the Uniteds, the good teams from the old days, to Manchester City and Liverpool, who are performing at the top of the game. Right now, there's no comparison. So it makes the clubs look like they're not doing as well as they're supposed to. But now, what I've seen from Arteta, he's gone into the market and he's addressed it properly. And it looks like the owners are actually starting to spend a little bit of money at Arsenal. And he's getting exactly what you guys need. A little bit of youth, and you're addressing the places that needs to be addressed.
So yeah, so do you guys miss it? Do you think you guys missed it?
Big time. But I'm also very excited to have our new assistant coach, Juanma Leo.
Okay.
He was a big influence for even Leo Messi.
Oh, I heard
I
about
forget the other guy, but he's very old school, and he also had a huge impact with Guardiola when Guardiola was actually a
So
footballer.
I
I think he
believe
trained.
Guardiola's mentor is Leeds coach, something like that. One of the guys.
Marcelo Bielsa. Yeah,
Yeah,
Marcelo Bielsa is a legend in disguise, if you know what I'm saying.
yeah, yeah,
I still,
yeah.
to this day,
It's
will
like
never
an Ancelotti
understand
style. You know what I
big
mean?
club.
Ancelotti is a legend in
No,
this.
even better.
Yeah, yeah. No, no. I'm just saying.
Yeah, true, true, true though.
So
But yeah,
I'm really
Marcelo
excited
Bielsa
to
is just
see
next
what he
level.
brings. Yeah, I'm really excited to see what he brings to the
I
game
watched
because
a lot of Leeds last season. And they play some phenomenal football. They
we,
like,
we,
I don't know if
we
you remember 2011, 2012 Swansea. They're playing some beautiful
oh
football as
yes,
well
yes,
in the
yes.
championship. But this is even better, a little bit
Because
better.
we played them in one of the cups, I think the FA Cup. Hey, it was a tough match, bro. We won 1-0 and it was like a scrappy goal. Like it wasn't even they were a
Top
tough
class.
team. It
They're
wasn't
very
hard.
well organized team as well.
Yeah, yeah. Sets them up quite well. So yeah, let's go on to some fun stuff now. We talked about all the serious things. You got everything off
For
your chest
sure, let's do it.
about your team. Wasn't the best
Frustrated
season,
fan, but I'm feeling good.
but on the positives, I took it away from you. De Bruyne did phenomenal, so that's always a plus. Sterling as well, good season to be fair. But yeah, let's go on to a bit of a player kind of quick fire question. So I'm going to ask you a few questions. You're going to tell me the player that you feel deserves this. So of course, everyone knows
Okay.
this, but what's your player of the season? Or who's your player of the season? Everyone knows who's it going to be. But this
Well,
is your
okay.
man
Well, it's
thing.
obviously Kevin De Bruyne. It's Kevin De Bruyne, but no, if it wasn't Kevin De Bruyne, it would be
No, no,
Phil
no.
Foden. I'm going to say Phil
Okay.
Foden again.
It's fine because there's more questions that might give other answers to that. So, okay, the next
No,
one is who was your most improved player this season?
most improved.
Yeah.
It's a tough one. I think Murray's really stepped it up this season, but most improved. Very tough one now.
Think
Because we
about
were so bad.
it.
We were so bad. Most improved. I'm going to have to stick with Murray.
Mahrez it is, right.
I
Okay,
think it is Murray. He really put in the figures this season. He did.
all right.
He did. He put the
And that's
figures
great.
in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like who improved for you? But the next one is the player that surprised you the most this season.
Player that surprised me the most. I don't want to go back to him, Phil Foden, but other than that, I would say Walker. Because
Okay.
I had my doubts about Kyle Walker because he's aging a bit, and I thought the pace
He's
would be
so fast,
lacking.
yo.
He's still quality. He's still our second best defender, if that's the best way to put it, after Laporte. But he's, for me, first name on the team sheet. He needs to be on there. He
Okay,
needs to be on there.
great.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who you signed this season, but who was your signing of the season?
Well, between Ferran Torres and Nathan
No,
Ake,
the last season.
last season, signing of the season. I actually,
You bought
I've had
Mahrez.
thoughts about this.
Who did you buy? You bought Mahrez. I think you bought forget who else you bought.
Last season, we bought Cancelo, we bought Rodri. We, I was gonna say Rodri, but I didn't see what he was performing at Atletico Madrid. He was really putting in the shifts there, and I think he's just struggling to get up to the pace of the Premier League. But he's still such an amazing prospect
Yeah.
for a CDM. He's huge. He's got such technical ability, and he's Spanish, so he's got that little bit of flair. And I think I would
Probably your
Rodri.
signing. Okay.
Yeah, I would
Then
say Rodri.
a bit of a disappointing one. Who didn't perform to your expectations this season?
Who didn't perform to my expectations this season? Everyone in the defense. Well, I, I'm I'm a big fan of Benjamin Mendy. Like ever since we were linked with him and the hype was there when I watched Monaco ripping everybody to shreds, we were going to sign him, and this question comes up, and I will say Mendy every season because there's just so much potential.
Yeah.
And he's either getting injured or he's just, how do I put this? He's an immature player who's not focused on what he needs to do.
What about like Gundogan?
I don't know.
What about him? How did you feel about him? What about
I love Gundogan. He's like the silent killer.
He is, but did he perform this season? Did he perform?
Yes, he did. He did. Problem with Gundogan, he can't play with specific midfielders. He can't play in a pivot with Rodri. If you notice, he always has to play in the number 8 role when he's really performing. He's playing in like a midfield trio with like De Bruyne, Silva, and himself. It's a bit strange, but I don't know. Gundogan is top class.
He is.
He needs to be the best.
And what about Fernandinho this season? What happened to him?
I think his legs are giving in, man. He's old, bro.
Yeah.
35. Fernandinho is 35 now.
Okay. Yeah.
And he's playing in defense.
Yeah, I did see that. So a very weird season, I suppose, for you guys. But this might be a nice one.
I'm actually lost.
Which was the goal of the season? Do you have a goal of the season?
Oh, Kevin De Bruyne against Newcastle. That off the chest volley away at Newcastle, off the top of the crossbar. Oh, and then you got Peter Jury's reaction. Goosebumps, man.
Okay.
Goosebumps.
All right. Maybe people will go check it out. Go check out that goal.
I hope to go check it out, man. Newcastle against Manchester City. Kevin De Bruyne off the top, fucking. Oh man, a beautiful goal. Oh.
I can hear that it was good. And obviously, I know the answers to this, but you can say it. Who was your best young player under 21?
Well, Foden, obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously, but there's been some top performers out on loan. There's a player. He's English, Tosin Adebayo. I think that's how you pronounce his name. He was on loan at Blackburn Rovers. He won Player of the Season for Blackburn. He's a centre back. He's someone I don't understand why we don't bring back and train with the first team, get a run in. Maybe he's good enough. He was playing in the Championship where it's a much tougher league, physically, not pace-wise, physically. And maybe he's got great passing ability. I don't know why he doesn't come
I suppose the whole reason he's there, so eventually he makes his way back. So you never know. Times are tough.
There's also Eric Garcia, another centre back that we signed from Barcelona, I think 2 seasons ago on a free. He's very talented player, but now he's asking to leave to go back to Barcelona. So I'm a little bit salty about that because
Well, now talking about Barcelona, there, I think the anticipated question everybody has around Man City is, what's happening with Messi, man? What are you guys doing there? What are you guys even planning, bro?
Well, what I've read is that Messi had 2 clauses in his contract. A clause where it stated that he had to let the club know before the end, I think, of July, which is the end of the season, that if he wants to leave the club, he's allowed to leave on a free. And if he doesn't let them know, they have to pay his buyer clause, which was 700 million euros. And then the whole situation was Bartomeu, the Barcelona president, was refusing to sell Messi regardless of this clause. He was going to say, I'm not going to allow you to leave because you're under contract. And then Messi was saying, he was saying, I don't want to go to court. So the options were go to court for this contract to be sorted out or stick it out another year, finish your contract. But I'm hearing we still potentially could sign him on a free next season. So I don't know.
Imagine.
Not sure.
Imagine.
Who wouldn't take Messi on a free, bro? Even at 48, I'll
I
take
don't
it.
think those two words fit together. Like Messi being for free, you know what I mean? Like, it's
I
not
know
like
it's so
it's not
strange. So strange.
yeah, But
Oh
yeah,
man.
it'll be some crazy shit to see this dude doing some stuff. But we'll just have to see. 3 days time, man. 3 days time till we kick. Oh
Oh,
well,
I'm so excited.
yeah, for you it's like I think like 10 days time, so it's fine because
Yeah,
I don't think you're
we've got an
playing.
extra week, but it's fine. I just want to watch. I just want to watch some Premier League football again.
Yeah, to see some of
I
that.
can't wait.
Be great. But Michael, thanks again. You know what I mean? Like, really enjoyed your season review with your beloved Manchester City. We'll see you again. I think we got the best out of you guys. So Arteta got the formula.
Yeah, you
Hopefully
gotta,
he
you
uses it
gotta.
well. But yeah, and before I wanted to mention this, but I didn't say. The one thing I respected about Arteta was as much as he beat Pep and he went on to win the FA Cup, one of the first things he said was, "I want to thank Pep Guardiola and everything he's done for me." And I think that's,
I've mad respect for
it's like,
that. When I heard that, I was sorry. Like, yeah,
yeah, it's bigger than football. It's
yeah,
bigger than a rivalry, It's appreciation. And it's the same thing as a Premier League fan will be like, look, as much as you hate Pep, the reason we're playing a lot of our ball and a lot of our style are changing is because of him and Klopp, or because things Wenger did or
yeah,
Alex Ferguson did. So, you know what, these guys came and changed. And, it's those appreciation moments that you like Klopp going to the fans, and doing what he does.
yeah.
Guardiola's
Seeing that
reactions.
passion,
You know what I mean?
love.
So it's just for me, it's things you see and you love about the game, and I really appreciated that because what people don't know is when he came to Arsenal, he was like a leader. Arteta was just a leader and a tactician. Became captain, started working tactics with Wenger. When he left, he actually told Wenger, "I'm going to City. I want to be under Pep Guardiola." That's what he said. I don't know if you phoned up Guardiola or how he made it happen, got the job. 3 years later, he's now the head
Can you
coach of
blame him?
Arsenal. You know what I mean? And
See,
people can take it
chose
away.
the right path.
We're
Look
one
where
of the
it is.
biggest clubs in
He's now the
England.
head coach
And
of
you know what I mean? He, as a rookie, comes and coaches us. You know what I mean? I'm not saying we're not City, we're not Chelsea, we're not Tottenham. We're Arsenal. So it's a big role to fill. Same like
Yeah,
Pep Guardiola coming in. Because you guys were rid of a lot of managers, he was under a lot of pressure to perform. You know what I mean? So you could have got rid of. Same with Arsenal, but it's a lot of history to work with. We're in a bad time, but we're backed by a lot of kind of like history, legacy.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, it's a really difficult job. And maybe to be fair, the best person to help him was Pep Guardiola and was Man City, because maybe they worked hand in hand. He brought that English part to Pep Guardiola's game, and Pep Guardiola taught him the ropes to be a manager. And it worked out. The
Yeah.
100th season was probably the best football I've watched in a while, man. Like, the only good thing
Oh
was,
man,
no offense, was when Liverpool knocked you guys out of the Champions League. That was a crazy game. It just was insane.
it
Like,
was, it
as a
was, it was.
neutral, it was like phenomenal, bruh. Like,
Man, we
sorry
cannot win
to
at
bring it up.
Anfield. We cannot win. Yeah, bro. It reminds me of
Yeah, but
Mahrez
it's all
scouring
right
over.
because they can't also win sometimes at the Etihad. You know what I mean? You know what? Liverpool's doing what.
No, but we haven't won at Anfield in like, I don't know, it's like 29 years or something like that. No, it's maybe
Yeah,
not that long,
it's tough to go
but
there,
it's a
bro.
long
And
time, bro.
it's tough. It's tough. It's not easy going there, especially when it's this Liverpool. You know, you'd rather go there 10 years ago than go there today, But to be fair, like, they just, remember how when you guys were good over the 10 years, Liverpool's hitting that period. Arsenal had that period. Chelsea had that period. United had that period. Maybe it's
Just
Liverpool's
era,
time, bro. Leicester had a one-show wonder. You know what I mean? So
like a
it's
Blackburn.
yeah, exactly. It's a nice time. It's a nice time. So it's good to see. I suppose, it would have been irritating if you guys took like five in a row. You know what I mean? Like, But I think all the coaches are up to it. This season's really going to be,
Juventus and Bayern.
you know what I'm saying? As good as you guys are, you wouldn't be as good without the competition. Like last season would have not been as great if Liverpool didn't hunt you guys down point for point. We sitting from the bottom just like,
Exactly.
yo, That's
Look,
a hefty
it's
fight
fun
up
to watch
there.
your team win and destroy everybody.
So
Exactly.
it's for me. It's just I'm waiting for next season. That's all, because it's a shit season for Arsenal. But I'm just excited for that Leeds coach, the Wolves coach, Sheffield United's coach. You know, even Leicester, and then obviously the top six Tottenham. Because Mourinho's around, man. Mourinho does some things there. You know,
Yeah, but he's a dinosaur, bro.
you
The
love
man
to
is
hate him.
outdated.
You know what I mean? You love to hate him. That's the thing. So
He's like
he's
he's
such
like
a
a A-Tech fucking Moyes, man. Nah, Mourinho, I don't dig him. He's old school, bro. I'm with the new school. The Lampards and the
hey,
Artetas,
Pep
Cameron
Guardiola's
Klopp.
gonna be old school soon. You know what I mean? Just now his style's
Yeah,
gonna
true.
go out. But yeah,
Matter of
Mike,
time.
once again, thanks so much. You know, looking forward to the new season. Maybe we get you on for some Man City games, and you can see if you guys can beat
Definitely,
us. I'm joking. But yeah, have a good one. And thanks again, Goonercast Essay, Rival Reviews with Michael, the Man City fan, the noisy neighbor here, came to give us his view on last season and what's to come from City. So catch you guys in 3 days' time. Goonercast Essay, I'm out.
Cheers, guys. Don't forget to subscribe.